Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in and watching this Health Now show, your health friend with me, Jane Karaoke. I'm glad that you're here with us today. And as you may be aware that we've been talking about trauma journeys, some experiences, and especially on delivery journeys, pregnancy and delivery journeys that we have been, discussing about with different people. And as we have always been saying is that delivery journeys are different. And for each child, it is different. Some are traumatic, some are easy, some are joyful, and the outcome sometimes it may not be very, very positive, and some of them may not be very happy moments. But in all that, we speak about these issues so that somebody watching there, somebody seated there, somebody walking with us will also get encouragement. We will learn something so that next time, probably when you're getting another child, you'll be different, you'll know something that you learn from here. And that is why I decided it is important that we do these delivery journeys so that we all learn in those journeys. And today is no different. We are having a beautiful, beautiful mother. She's going to introduce herself further as we go along, and she's going to share with us her journey. It's somebody I know for a very long time, and I believe her journeys, the journeys that she's going to share with us, are going to be something that you also learn and also wish to come on stage here to be interviewed, to share with us what you have. And that is what I say. If you'd like to come and be hosted here, kindly just text us the number on the screen and you'll be able to come here, and we'll invite you, come and share with us. We're all on social media platforms. Follow us, subscribe to our channel, and if you're there and you like to support this ministry, the number again is on the screen. You can be able to support us so that we can go wider, we can reach more people, and we can learn together all over the world. And without further ado, I want to welcome my beautiful guest today. Nimeweka jina mpaka ajiseme. Ajiseme.
Yeah.
So this Margaret, as I've said again, I've mentioned the name Margaret. I'm so happy to host you.
Thank you so much.
And I can't wait for the story, for the journey.
Yes.
And before we get into that, kindly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yes. My name is Margaret Wanjiko Mohia. I'm born again. I love the Lord. He is my friend. We've walked a journey with Him, and I've decided to keep walking with Him. He is my Savior. I'm glad that I love Him, and I've loved Him all the years because He's been so close to me, and I thank God. Yeah. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes.
It's been it's long overdue.
Kutoka wakati tulianza,
yes.
That can we set this date? Can we
I
set
know,
this date?
I know,
But I thank God that it has happened today.
Yes.
And this is the day the Lord has made.
Amen.
That we may be glad and be, be glad in it.
Yes.
This is the day that He has given us.
That's
that
true.
we do this discussion,
That's
this
true.
sharing.
Yes.
Yes. So
that's good.
sit back, my viewer, and let us take off together. Now, Margaret.
Yes.
Let's start not in your journey, but let us start where it starts.
Yeah.
Where you were born.
Yes.
How many are you? Would you like to introduce your family to us?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm born in a family of, we are 6 of us.
Okay.
We are 4 girls and 2 boys. Let me call them boys because
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the second born in our family.
Yeah.
We have a firstborn who is Sammy.
Yes.
So of course Mama Sammy, Baba Sammy.
Yeah.
Sammy is our firstborn.
Yeah.
And I'm the second born.
Yes.
Then there is Jane after me.
Yes.
Then there is after Jane there is George. And then there is Joyce. And then there is one boy.
Yes.
He's our last born.
Yes.
Yeah, ladies, then they're born and brought up by lovely parents, Baba and Mama Sammy. They've done a wonderful job raising all of us.
Yes, everybody was like, Family of Baba and Mama Sami.
Yes.
Yes, the children, the daughters.
Yeah, we were raised in a very good way. I wouldn't say that we really missed anything in life. Dad and Mom worked very hard.
Yes.
And raised us up in a God-fearing way.
Yes.
And we've been church girls and boys ever since. And we thank God because it has been very helpful for each one of us to have come this far. Loving the Lord, knowing church, loving God and working with Him.
Yes.
Reaching a point where we know God by ourselves, not the God that was introduced to us by our parents. It's been a lovely journey.
Yes.
And I thank God that they were able to stand in the gap for us.
Yes.
Until we were fully grown. And thank God for Dad. Dad and Mom were very strict with us, especially the girls. We really didn't hang out there with friends. But we didn't even have many places to visit. Okay. Because we were either at home or at their best friends' homes. Yes. Where they knew we were safe there. Yes. And we thank God. Now we see why they did that. You know, when you're kids, you don't know why your parents are so strict with you. They want you to be in a certain place at a certain time. Yes. There's that time you're supposed to get home. Yes. If you get home after that time, you need to explain why. Yes. And now we thought they were so strict, but now we know because now we have our own kids. Yes. Yes. Now we are here doing the same. Yes. And I thank God because they knew what they were doing then. And we, by God's grace and mercy, we all turned out well. Amen. 6 kids turning out well. Yes. It's God's grace. And my mom prayed. You know, she used to pray for us and we used to hear from her bedroom. Yes. From the first one to the last one, by name. By name. So we knew now Mom is up praying for us. Yes. And she used to take time. Yes. And we have seen the prayers work. Amen. They have worked for each one of us in different ways. Amen. And I thank God. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Hey. It's a beautiful place to be. Yes. Some of us have come from different ones, and I believe our viewer is also saying, mine was like that, or mine was not like that. Yes. But that is what makes life. That's true. Yeah, so you're happy if you grew up in a place where you're all happy and being provided for many things. Yes. Now let us come to you. Yeah. Growing up, probably you thought about one day getting babies. Yes. And probably, like, how many, now you are 6 in your family of origin. Like, how many did you want to get? I knew I wanted to have 3 kids. And thank God my husband also was for the idea of 3 kids. Yes. So we agreed, even before we did our wedding, that it was going to be 3 kids. Yes. And I'm not sure if we knew whether we wanted 2 boys and 1 girl or we wanted 2 girls and 1 boy. I think we were not very specific there. Yes. But yeah, we knew. We knew that this is where we wanted to go. Yeah. And by God's grace and mercy, we were able to have 2 boys and 1 girl. So yeah, we got the 3 that we wanted. You got the 3. Yes. We'll get there. Yeah. So that we can know the journey now, how it started. Now, you've talked about the 3, the desire to have the 3. Yes. So let's start with the first one. Yeah. Take us back. How did you know that you're expectant? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even know. I don't think we had planned to get pregnant with our first child. Yes. Because all I knew is that I didn't want to get pregnant immediately after the wedding. Yes. So that one he had agreed. Yes. At least just stay for 1 year and then we see how life is going before the first one comes. So actually we made the like 1 year honeymoon or something. Know, right? So we had agreed that 1 year. Yeah. And yeah, we made it to that 1 year. But I think it didn't end because my firstborn was born in 1999 September. That means I think I had conceived before the 1 year was actually over, or at the beginning of the other year. So I think, and then because we had done our wedding in 1998 in March. Okay. So we didn't take 1 year because the firstborn I think was conceived in the beginning of 1999. Yes. And our wedding was in 1998. Yes. And yeah, so I didn't know. I think I just felt different. And you know how when you know and your katami is starting to become harder, yes, is when you realize, I think I'm not by myself. See, ugali peke yake. So I noticed, and I told him, and of course we were excited. Yes. But being now new parents, there's nothing much we knew because, you know, nobody tells you these things. And you do not have an idea of when you get pregnant, what do you feel, or what is going to be different. You start feeling funny things, and now you start realizing, I think I'm pregnant.
Yes.
So when I realized, I didn't have complications in the beginning.
Okay, thank God.
I think that is why I didn't actually know.
Okay, okay.
Because I didn't have any complications.
Yes.
Just that I didn't want to smell onions.
Okay, onions, zinakuwanga mbaya kwa watu wengi.
So, but then I also thought, you know what I thought? Being a born-again Christian, I didn't used to like how people used to say morning sickness.
Yes.
I don't eat this.
Yes.
And I'm like, where is your faith? Why don't you believe God?
Yes.
And let these things not disturb you.
Yes.
So when I started feeling, and I'm cooking food, and I'm starting to feel, I don't like the smell of onions. I told myself, you know what, girl, you don't have a chance to hate onions.
Yes.
Who is going to be cooking in this house?
You have
You
to.
start. So now, I command you to like the onions.
Yes.
And don't feel bad about the onions because I have to cook. And you know, it actually went away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, it didn't disturb. I believed that I kept telling the onions, you're going to be okay
Speaking
with
to
me.
them.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're going to be okay with me.
Yes.
Because I'm okay with you.
Yes.
So me and you are going to be friends.
Yes.
And that was the only issue I remember I had.
You okay?
Otherwise, I didn't have any other complications, and my first pregnancy went on well.
Yes.
I thank God. I didn't have anything that I can say I felt. I did my chores at home as usual.
Yes.
And now, the other one thing I know I did that was not right is that I didn't attend any clinics.
Oh. All right.
And I remember my sisters telling me, did you start going for the clinics anytime I went home? And I'm like, no. Why? I don't know where to go. No one is recommending a hospital to me. Any ones that I have in my heart, everyone is discouraging me. So I haven't decided where I'm going. So my husband would ask me, when are you starting the clinics? I'm like, I don't know. Let me first think. And by thinking, it was 7 months.
Where?
Yeah, it was 7 months. And then I think that is when I came back to my senses. I'm like, you know what I'm doing is just a big joke.
Yes.
So I decided, you know what, let me go to the hospital that is near me. We're living in Banana. So I went to Nazareth. It was the nearest now for me.
Yes.
And I told God, you know what, I have heard so many things about hospitals and delivery.
Yes.
I want to believe in you.
Yes.
I will go to the one I will choose to go.
Yes.
And you're going to be with me.
Yes.
It's not about the nurses or anyone who is there or the doctors.
Yes.
It is going to be about me and you
Yes.
and my baby.
Yes.
So I'm choosing to go to Nazareth. Go with me. And I went for my first clinic, and I did, you know, at 7 months. And the nurses were like, is this the first time you're coming? I'm like, yes, I've never been here.
The innocent girl.
And you're 7 months pregnant? Yeah. What have you been doing at home? Of course, now I wouldn't answer that one. Because then it was ignorance for me not to have gone. And so they did all the tests, the blood test, the urine test, everything. All the tests were done on that day, and of course they opened a file for me.
Yes.
So nikapimwa vitu zote, wakasikiza mtoto, wakaniambia mtoto ako sawa.
Yes.
And I went home at 7 months. That was my first clinic. So by the time,
I'm sure there is somebody seated there saying, that's me. And there's somebody else who is 3 months, 4 months. They've not started the clinic.
the clinic,
Speak to them.
please start. Please start the earliest possible.
Yeah.
Once you realize you're pregnant, please go to the hospital. Let them take, or especially because of the tests that they do, the blood test, and to just make sure that you're okay.
Yes.
It is important.
Yes.
Even if you're a believer like me, just go.
Yes.
Let them do those tests as earlier as possible.
Yes.
Because now for me, see, they were doing them the last minute. And in case you go to the hospital and something happens and they do not have those results, they don't know how to help you.
Yes.
Because they don't have your blood group. They have this so much they don't have now in the file to know what to do.
Yes.
Even in case of an emergency.
Yes.
That is why it is important to go early.
Yes.
I thank God in my ignorance, He kept me safe.
Oh, amen. Amen.
Yeah, and so I went home after my clinic, my first clinic.
Yeah.
I remember I started my clinics on a Thursday. So now I was supposed to go every Thursday, every first Thursday of the month.
Yes.
And so at 8 months, I was supposed not to go for the second clinic. But I didn't actually go for the second clinic. I got my labor pains before the second clinic.
Tell us.
Where? So because now my babies, let me say babies, because they came earlier.
Yeah.
I hadn't done any scans. I didn't even know. Nothing. I had no idea.
What you're carrying.
What I'm carrying. And I remember this one Saturday. It was on a Saturday. We went to visit my sister. I was picking some things from her. My sister Becky. I was picking yes. I was picking some things from her house.
Yes.
She had called me to pick those things for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so that Saturday we decided to go and pick them. And we went. Of course, we know we are using matatus, we go to Komarok and come back.
Yes.
By the time we were coming back in town, we were walking from Commercial to the fire brigade area where you get the matatu that goes to Banana.
Yes.
I started feeling very tired. And my back was hurting. But I thought, because we've been walking and I've been in these matatus and I'm very pregnant, maybe that is why.
Yes.
So we got home, I was missing just to sit down and relax. But when I sat, now the back pains became now more serious. I'm like, I think this is not just about the walking we have done today. I think there's something else. But then I told my husband, you know what? Let me just relax a bit. I'm so tired. So as I sat on the sofa, the pains now became more. And I told him, I think we need to go to the hospital. So, because he kept asking me, do we go to the hospital? I'm like, no, let me wait a bit. Do we go? And I kept waiting, and I think I waited until it was going to 7 in the evening. And we're in town at 4. So by 5 we were home, and I stayed home, I think, for another 1 hour before I decided let's go to the hospital. So when he called my neighbor, we had a neighbor that had a car. Thank God for good neighbors. And of course, being in a good relationship with neighbors, you never know when you need them.
We never know.
Yeah. So the neighbor took us to the hospital, to Nazareth Hospital. This is now my second visit to the hospital. Now, not for clinic, to deliver.
To deliver.
Yeah.
But the back pain now.
The back pain now. Yes, I'm feeling now the back pain. And then I started feeling a pain that was coming from my back now to my below the tummy, my abdomen. Yes, and now it was just like going round and round and round. So we got to the hospital. Of course, I was now deceived by the nurses that were not very kind. And being a first-time mother, you don't even know what you're expecting.
Yes.
And no one has told you what to expect. You see, I hadn't gone for more clinics. Yes. So I had even missed the trainings that they were doing. Because on that one I went, I think because I had so many tests to do, I didn't even attend. You know, they used to sit people down and tell you what to expect. So I didn't have that chance because I was all over doing the tests.
Yes, yeah.
So I didn't get to sit down to get the teachings that they were giving the young mothers.
Yes.
But so when I got to the hospital with my husband, we walked in, I was admitted. I was told, so you know how they test you and tell you now, you are going to be admitted. So I got admitted. It was on a Saturday in the evening. Now it's after 7.
Yes.
Of course, my husband went back home.
Yes.
I was left there.
Umefika hospitali?
Nishafika hospitali sasa. Niko peke yangu. And now the labor pains now become severe. Now, and I'm like, I'm feeling so much pain. Why is the baby not coming? Yes. You know, you think when the pain is so much, you think this is the time the baby is coming.
Yes.
But wapi, the baby is not coming. Bado. And I stayed. They give you a bed that you don't even get to sleep on. The whole night you are walking, because when you sit down, you feel like the pain is becoming too much.
Yes.
So unaona acha nikatembea nje, maybe itakuwa afadhali.
Yes.
Do you know I walked the whole night?
From 7?
Yes. I sit on my bed. I'm like, I think this bed is even more painful. I get out of the ward.
Yes.
And I'm moving. I sit on the benches and the corridors. I'm moving out. I come back. You don't even tell you to walk. Stop sitting, you walk.
Yes.
If you sit here, the baby is not going to come. Keep walking. So walk. And I kept walking and I kept walking. And it was morning when I was still walking.
Where?
In the morning, I was still walking. I think I had the longest labor hours.
Wow. In
the morning, now I was even so tired. The baby is not coming. And I walked until noon. Do you know I gave birth to my babies at noon? On Sunday.
You came
I came at 7 on Saturday. I walked the whole, because you see now my babies were at 8 months. Remember?
Yes.
I'm not my 9 months. I'm 8 months. So
yes.
We had 1 month to go.
Yes.
But now they decided to come early because I think they were so squeezed. Yes. So they decided, you know what? We need to get out of here.
And you know, you didn't tell us whether they were two because you didn't.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So now
you're introducing us to babies.
Yeah. So I gave birth to. I also didn't know I had 2 babies.
Yes.
So I go to the labor ward, and now I'm ready to push my babies.
Yes.
My baby.
Your baby, yes.
Yes.
Your baby.
My baby.
Yes.
I push the first baby. I push my baby, and the baby comes out nicely.
Yes.
Then the nurse screams, "There's another one."
Where? Where?
I'm like, there's another one.
Yes.
Because I think the second one was, they saw a hand.
Okay.
So when the one came out, they saw now a hand. Because I
Yes.
think it was coming out like this.
Hata mimi nakuja.
I know.
Yes.
So the nurse screamed, "There's another one." I was like, another one. Now the labor pains have gone.
Yes.
But there's another one.
There's another one.
But slightly after like 1 minute, the labor pains now came back. And I pushed
the other one.
So they're like, "Did you know you have 2 babies?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know."
The girl,
You know?
the innocent one.
The innocent girl. I didn't know. Did you come for clinic? Yes. Did they do any scans? Did I even have time for scans? I was at home.
Well,
I didn't come for any.
No.
So nobody even would have realized that the babies were 2 because I didn't come for the clinics. So when the nurse shouted, "There's another one," and the other one, and I thank God I gave birth so like nicely
yes.
for both of them.
Yes.
They were not big because now they were sharing the weight.
Yes.
Because the first one was, the one that came out first was 1.2. The one that came out second one was 1.8.
Oh, it was bigger.
Yeah.
Than
the first one.
Oh, okay. All right.
So the 1.2 was now, they were underweight. Of course now.
Kidogo.
Walikuwa wadogo. So now it was another journey now of staying in the hospital. Of course now, and I was told I have 2 baby boys. And I was excited.
Yes.
You know, I have 2 boys.
Yes.
And at that time, now my mom had arrived because now they had been told I went to the hospital yesterday. Of course, they went to church first.
Yes.
You know, my mom and her friends, Mama Getawe and Mama Ngenda, you know.
Of course.
So now, I think they...
amepata mtoto.
So now, wamefika, wako hapo nje ya labor ward. And the nurses they're asking, where is so and so? They're being told, "Oh, the one in the labor ward, she just gave birth to 2 boys." And I could hear the screams. I could hear them screaming from where I was. Because now they were screaming and jumping from the corridors with my sisters. Everyone was there.
Yes.
You can imagine.
Your family is...
Yes,
yeah,
everyone was there. My sisters, then my brothers who were around, everyone was there.
Yeah.
And it was such a happy moment. So I stayed in the labor ward for some time.
Yeah.
Then they brought me out. And
but they cried well.
Yes, they cried well. They were okay. And but then they told me, "You cannot take your kids to the ward because they need to go to the nursery."
Yes.
And now the journey of nursery. Oh my God.
Yes.
And yeah, so well, one, I think it was okay because then I relaxed a bit. You know, I had worked the whole night, and now I have visitors, so I have to attend to the visitors. Yes. So when they went, I slept because I know my babies are okay. Yes. They are in the nursery. Yes. They're in the incubators, so I'm okay. Let me sleep. I slept very well. But of course, you know, they keep calling you to go and breastfeed. Yeah. And that is not where the challenge is because you can't actually like relax so well. And because you have to keep waking up at night to breastfeed them, and you know you're breastfeeding too. Yes. So wanakuletea mmoja, wanarudisha, wanakuletea mwingine, hata hauna maziwa. So you're even wondering, quick, and I kept asking, why can't you give them milk so that they can sleep? Yes. I don't have any milk. And you know how the nurses are like, no, we will give them milk, but we want them to first breastfeed. So they can also, get the milk to come in, and that's all, and close, and that closeness also is very, sometimes you wonder, why are they bringing the baby? I have no milk to give them. Yes. Will you sort them out? Yes. I'll come and see them. No, you are the mother. I'm the mother. They need to start breastfeeding. So you see that those are the things you don't know. You think you're supposed to have milk for them. Na huna maziwa, so wanakuletea wanini. You don't know they're supposed to suck so that the milk actually can come. Yes. So they teach you those things. You have to breastfeed them so that the milk can come. Yes. So they kept bringing them. Yeah. And they stayed there for about 2 weeks. And the one who was 1.8 actually gained up to 2 kgs. Oh, wow. Which was good. Yeah. But then still stayed in the incubators. The one who was 1.2 now came to 1.6, 1.7. Yes. So now he was okay. Yeah. And because they were feeding well, they didn't have. The only challenge I had with them now, they developed Judy's. Oh. When were they still there? Now that becomes another journey now, because now they had to stay in the incubators now. Yes. For a longer time now for the Judy's now to disappear in the treatment and everything. Yes. And with time I kept asking the let's say, Sister Judy is gone, we need to go home. Now I was tired of the hospital.
Yes.
Na ile ushapata watoto mpaka karibu upone hospitali.
Yes.
And you want to just go home.
Yes.
Because now you're tired of this waking up. You feel like you want to go and relax, you know?
Yes.
And so after about 2 weeks, we went home. We went home.
Yeah.
And the journey now of breastfeeding the babies, because now sasa unajua walikuwa wanapewa maziwa huko kwa nursery. Sasa umeenda, you have to figure it out.
Yes.
And I told my husband, you know what, we need to buy some milk, some naan or something, because I don't know how to breastfeed 2 babies.
Yes.
To their full, na hata maziwa ijakuja bado. So we bought some milk, we bought some naan, and we went home with it, and we used to, of course I was breastfeeding them, but of course ndio sasa washibe walale, you had to unaongezewa maziwa. And the babies grew well, and we didn't have we didn't have actual challenges with them. And it was now me and my husband bringing up the kids. Sasa, you know, at that earlier stage, hata una pesa za kuajiri msichana, so you do it yourself. And you know, with twins, it becomes a challenge because it's too much work. Unajua, and then our time akukuwa na diaper. You know, ni ile tu, you have to wake up and wash a nappy. Na uko na mingi because ni watoto wangapi. So there's a lot of washing to do. I thank God for the people who are going to church with. Yes. These ladies came in handy for me. Because they used to come early. This one lady that I haven't seen for long, and I've been looking for her. I used to call her Jane Munge. She was one of the members in the church. Yes. That lady used to, first thing in the morning, she used to come to my house.
Check on you. Check
on me, make sure I have food to eat, make sure everything is okay in the house, wash the clothes, and then go to work. Every single morning, she passed by my house. And even we were not even living anywhere where she was going to work. So she had to get matatus to where we were staying and then go back. And she did that. She did that every single day. And she really helped me. So at least during the day I would manage because she had cooked. Yes. Sometimes she would even bring me food. You know, of course my husband was also coming in handy because he would help around the house. Yes. And so it was a good journey. And the babies were 1 month. They're doing okay. Even introduced it pawpaw fruits to them when they were 1 month old. That was very early. But then what were we going to do? This buying milk, of course, you know how naan died then, was a lot of money.
It is expensive.
And then people are telling you can't give them cow milk, it's not good for them. So you keep buying the naan. So we had to introduce the fruits when it was very early. It was actually very early. They were only 1 month old when we introduced the pawpaw.
And now
but of course, you know, you give them like a spoon.
Yes.
And you know, you give them little by little until they take at least a spoon or two. You don't give so much.
And now now you have to exclusively breastfeed for 6 months.
Yes. Ah, those days. Of course, with 2 boys, how do you feed 2 boys exclusively? That is even nowadays they used to tell us that. Yes. But then the reality on the ground is that how possible is this going to be?
On the ground, the things are different.
Zinakuanga different.
But of course that's the way it's supposed to be, if it's possible. Actually, that is what they advise.
That is, and it is very good.
Very good.
If you're able to do it, please.
Yeah, actually that is the way.
That is the way to go.
Yeah, that is the way to go.
Because you don't get a lot of health challenges with the kids when you breastfeed them for a long time, because the immunity it becomes very strong. Yeah. So if it's 1 baby, even if it's 2 babies and you're able to breastfeed them, please go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't do my thing.
Yeah.
We learn as we go. Yeah. Yes. So we introduced them to fruits. They were doing very well. They didn't have any issues with their tummies, I thank God. Yes. And then later at 3 months we introduced the Celilac.
Okay.
I introduced as a Celilac. Kidogo tu. They are taking the milk, they're eating a fruit, they are breastfeeding, so everything goes together. Yes. And they grew very well. We didn't have any health issues. Homa hatukuwa nazo.
Thank God.
And because now tulikuwa sasa kwa nyumba, mimi na watoto kwa nyumba 24/7.
Yes.
Kuna kwenda mahali.
Yes.
So they and then of course now the members in the church used to come visit us and walk with us, and the journey became easier.
Yeah.
Family walked with us. Cellular zinakuja huko. My sisters are brought cellular. My mom used to come visit us with a kiondo of everything.
Yes, of course.
And of course his mom support was good.
Yes.
The support was very good.
Yeah.
And yeah, so after 3 months, I remember when there were 3 months, actually exactly 3 months. You know, after 3 months, tunasema they can go to church. You can go somewhere with them. So we had gone to church. They had been dedicated, and then it was my sister's wedding after there were 3 months. So of course I came home excited. We came that morning excited. My sister Joyce.
Yes.
It was Joyce's wedding in Mwangi.
Yes.
So we came with them for the wedding excited. Now even at least hata nimetoka nyumba, you know.
Yeah.
I've been in the house for too long. Wanted just to go and just be with everyone else.
Yes.
And tukafika nyumbani, my sister was so happy taking photos with the 2 babies and they were looking good. Now they had grown, at least hata weight imekuwa mzuri.
Yes.
Now they are good. And it was a good day. We had fun. Then in the reception, I remember my mom akanitisha mtoto. Of course I gave them now to my mom. During reception sasa, akashika mtoto mmoja akaniambia, have you seen the way this child is breathing? Nikamwambia, what do you mean breathing? He is breathing. Akaniambia, uone kama ana breathe anakaa haraka. Nikamwambia, ni sijaona. Akaniambia, alikuwa ameshikwa na homa? Nikamwambia, no. He's not had, no one has had any fevers, they have not had any flus, nothing. It's like, I don't know, but I'm feeling like anahema. Nami imagine siona hata ninamwangalia hivi sioni anahema.
But
Shushu ameona mtoto anahema.
Yeah.
So when we got home, so I told my husband, did you see, unaona, my mom is telling me mtoto anahema. Akaniambia sasa anahema aje. So now we got home very late at night because after the wedding and everything. So the following day, sasa out of venye Shushu alikuwa amesema, nikampeleka hosi.
Without you seeing?
Yeah. Mi hata sioni. Naona kama wana breathe the same na brother yake. But nikampeleka out of that, you know?
Yeah.
Nikampeleka, and then I think also he started having fevers, eh?
Okay.
So nikampeleka hosi. And then also, I'm new, hapa panye tunaishi, I'm very new because sasa unajua tumefanya harusi tukakuja huku.
Yes.
So sijui hata hospitali mzuri ni gani. Hata nikitaka kupeleka mtoto hosi, I don't know which is a good hospital here. So the one I knew, a dispensary that was in somewhere down our place, nilimpeleka hapo. So the doctor akampima, didn't tell me much, gave him, akampatia Cellup. So you know you are a mother, you are a new mother. Ujaipeleka mtoto hospitali, you don't even know what it means that the baby is panting, ana nini anafanya amepanti kuna nini. So vile nilipewa tu dawa, we went back home. Nikapatia mtoto dawa, it was so bitter. Anaitoa yote. So for 2 days I tried giving this baby the medicine. Nikarudi nikamwambia daktari, mtoto hakunywi dawa, anaitema yote. Because now 3 months, amerefuka, so anajua what is sweet and what is I don't like.
Hata mmeanza compare
vitu sweet, you know, mafruits anajua. Sasa anaitema. Akaniambia yule mtoto mpaka akunywe hiyo dawa. Nikarudi sana dawa yangu. Tunangangana mtoto mpaka anakunywa dawa. After 3 days, akaanza sasa kuhema now seriously. Now my mom now had come. I think because ile aliacha mtoto akihema akakuja sasa kutuangalia. So she came, we stayed, akanitisha mtoto. Nikampatia, akamwambia mtoto bado anahema. Nikamwambia na nimpatia dawa. Which dawa gani? So nikamuonyesha. Akaniambia hapana. Mtoto anahema sana. You go back to the hospital. So tukakaa na mama akachukua kiondo yake kaenda nyumbani. After she left, mtoto akaanza kuconverse. Ameanza sasa nashinda mtoto anafanya nini, anatoa macho yawe nini, what is happening. So I told I told the dad, you know what, I think all is not well. So tukachukua mtoto tukamfunga maleso. So I think now the temperatures had gone so high hata mpaka ameanza kuconverse. Sasa ni kwa matatu, kwa barabara, kwa matatu kurudi sasa kwa ile hosi. Tukarudi kwa hosi and I was so now scared. I was so scared by then. Imeanza kukua usiku, it's already now after 6. My mom ndio ametoka ameenda. Of course hakukuwa na simu. So hata mwezi itana ati mom rudi ama anything. So mama ameenda and tumerudi hosi. So my husband had the baby in front hapo kwa karibu na driver. So venye nilishuka kwanza na yeye akanipatia mtoto, mimi nikakimbia kwa hosi nikapatia mtoto daktari, nikamrushia mtoto na nikatoka nje. I was already panicking. I was already panicking. I don't know.
You are seeing things are not okay.
Ninasikia things are not okay. Na nikatoka nje. So my husband is the one who went in. Akamuuliza daktari, mtoto ni nini? Kumbe tumefika hosi hata mtoto hayuko. Asha sasa lose breath. Na hata nikimpatia sasa telling us later hata hakuwa, by the time tunafika hapo hakuwa. Sasa hajui atuambia aje. Juu tumempatia mtoto na tukaenda na tukatoka nje.
Kwanza ukakimbia nje?
Nikakimbia nje nikatoka. So when he called us, of course you know, anajaribu kutuambia ataanza aje kutuambia what has happened. Unajua sasa nimeachia mtoto mwingine na neighbor yangu.
Yeah, because they are twins.
They are twins.
Remember?
Yeah. So I left my baby with, I had very good neighbors. So I just gave one of the neighbors, kamwambia wewe, sijafunga nyumba, take the baby and just, I don't know what you do. Do whatever it is you want to do with the baby. Feeding, sijui, nikamwambia nimepika chakula, nilikuwa nimepika iko hapo. Because I started eating pumpkins and some greens. So daktari anatuambia, by the time nafika hapa mtoto hakuwa. Nikamwambia daktari, I've been coming to this hospital for the last 3 days. Na huku treat mtoto wangu. Ni wewe, au kunitreatia mtoto. Now I've started now throwing tantrums. Because now nimeshindwa if he knew what the problem was.
It's not tantrums, it is the real thing.
So now I'm wondering, hakuwa anajua mtoto akona, it was a serious case. Ama basi anitume hospitali kubwa or something. You know, those are the things I was asking myself. Hakuwa anajua kama mtoto alikuwa na serious issue.
Refer.
Refer niende hosi ingine hata Kiambu hata wherever. Wenye watajua what the problem is. Kumbe mtoto alikuwa amefungana kifua. It was pneumonia. That he didn't even, hata angeniambia tu jina mtoto amegonjeka akona pneumonia, to have even struck me to look for better medical attention.
Yes.
Lakini haniambia ni homa tu itaisha. Ni homa tu itaisha. Do you know? Sasa tukatoka hapo sasa. We got I don't even know who came for us. Because now we had to go to the police station. Sasa tuandikishe statement. Ndio tupewe sasa barua ya kwenda mochari. Everything it was so unbelievable. You know how you think you're in a movie that you're going to wake up out of, you know?
Yeah. Because
things are just moving too fast. So at least thank God for me, I'm just screaming and everything is just everywhere. Tumefika police station. My husband of course anaandikisha statement, everything. And now akafikiria apigie bishop simu. Because nimeona bishop alikuwa na landline. Sijui kama yetu iko inafanya. Because we also had a landline at home. Well, I don't even know why we didn't even call home. Ama tulipiga na mama hakuwa amefika. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what happened.
Yes.
Because things were just moving too fast. So, by God's grace, I think bishop akachukua simu akamwambia tuko hapa police station, kumeenda, mtoto ameenda. So, bishop lashed home, picked my parents, and they came to Karuri police station.
Na unajua naye vile anakuwaka
very fast.
Bio.
Hata I think alikuta mamangu akiingia home. Akamwambia mama Sambi, put your car down, we need to get in the car, let's go. So they came, wakatupata hapo. Of course wakatusaidia with what we were supposed to do. He lady stood with us together with my parents. Sasa mimi wakasema, you know what, you go back home. Unakumbuka uliacha mtoto nyumbani? Actually now I started screaming, nipelekeni nyumbani. Because now I'm starting to feel huyu ameenda, nitakuta huyo mwingine ameenda. Sasa I started now screaming, take me home. To now Steve, take me home. I want to go back to Steve. Because now I was panicking. Maybe kenye kimefanyikia huyu, sasa na siko nyumbani, labda ndio inaendelea nyumbani na mimi siko.
Na mko hapa wawili.
Na tuko hapa sisi, So nikapelekwa. So now nikaleta shida sana nipelekwe nyumbani. So whatever it is what they were going to do after that, sasa mimi nataka nini nikaone mwingine ako aje. And I went back home. Of course now they did everything. Wakaenda Kiambu, wakampeleka na wakarudi. Now they came back with my mom. Do you know I told my mom I went home. You're not going. Because now I was crying. I'm trying to attend this baby. And you know my mom had to sleep in our house on the couch. Because I was like, you're not going.
In a bed.
like I felt like I needed now more people now to just even get to digest what has actually happened, because we went without baby. Now tumerudi hatuna mtoto, tumezaa kuwa na watoto wawili nyumbani, sasa hatuna mmoja. You know, getting all that to sink was very hard. So yeah, tukaanza sana another journey now.
Yeah.
And you know, it was December. It was just before Christmas. And my sister naye si wameenda honeymoon na bwana yake. Wako huko, wamefanya harusi silisha na wakaenda. Now they're being called. This has happened after I think like 3 days or 4 days after the wedding. Now they also had to come back. Now my younger sister at least was available, so she came to stay with us. For that time now, we didn't even have Christmas that year. It was in 1999. There was a loss. It was, and then hata tungefanya mazishi because now we had to wait for Christmas iishe. Ndio you know sasa tufanya mazishi huko 27, 28.
Yes.
And so we kept now planning na mazishi ikafanyika after Christmas. And things were never the same again.
Of course you can't.
They were never the same again. And I still remember during the burial, it was the hardest thing that has ever happened. Because sasa, one, of course, see, watu wanaplan vitu zata hata ushughuliki ni nini wanapanga. You know, like you're not even there. I also had a baby that also saw 3 months to take care of. Of course, now I'm having help our friends and church, and my sisters are coming around. And of course, the burial day came, and we had to go now to where my husband comes from for the burial. And I still remember when we came to the mortuary here in Kiambu. And it was time to view the body. I wasn't going to view my son in the casket, no. I wasn't. Because I knew him when he was okay, the handsome boy. Sasa nikaenda kumuona amelazwa hapo. Venye nilimuona tu nimemrushia daktari, it was the last time I saw him. So I remember some ladies wakakuja, I don't know, I don't even know who they are. Wakakuja, so watu wana view, mimi nimesimama huko kwa magari zenye tukuja nazo. Kaniambia, you know, Mama Steve, you need to come and view the body. I'm like, I'm not coming. I'm not going to view my son dead. So they started now like bringing me by force. Kama nikipeleka na nguvu nitarudi nyumbani. So muachane na mimi. So my mom told them, you leave her. If she doesn't want to view, you leave her. So I did. So wakaniacha. So you don't even know whether you're dealing with anger or you're disoriented. You don't even know what you are at time.
Loss. You can do anything.
Yeah.
After a loss.
So
yeah.
And I'm crying and there's so much happening. And so they wakaniacha. Nikaka huko kwa magari. Actually nikaingia kwa gari. When they were done, put the casket in. Tunaenda sasa na tunaenda flyover. You know, it is also now another distance. Eh? Yeah. So tukaenda, of course, the church people are there. We had a very big support, and I thank God. Because as a church ya Banana, church ya Kiambu, we had a very good support. Tukaenda the burial. Tukamaliza, it was now time to go home. Of course, pale sasa kwa mazishi, that one I was able to come near sasa ndio. So for that closure. Also, you know, you need to come near. Nilikuwa nyuma ya watu. Kambi, you know what? At this point, Mama Steve, you need to come closer because you need to get a closure with this. You need to see that your son actually has gone. So I think hapo nikaona, as much as I'm not able to do this, leo chani tu nikaribie. So nikakaribie, it was not easy. It was very hard. And tukamaliza na tukarudi nyumbani sasa kwetu. Na tuna mtoto mmoja. Now starting to think, unaenda kwa nyumba, kuna mtoto mmoja, ulikuwa na wawili, you're starting to wonder exactly what happened. And you know it is so fast. You had the baby at one point, saa zingine, the other minute hauna mtoto. And you're trying to wrap your hand around all this. So by and by, sasa ili nisumbua sasa. Nikaanza kuona like I'm losing now my other son.
The fear now came.
Yeah, now I'm starting now to be afraid. Cause ninamuona akishikwa na homa. Niyo mimi hosi. Tu kama kamasi katokea tu hivi, niko hospitali. Ama nisikia amecough. Nachukua mtoto, hata even when the dad is not there, atanipata hospitali. Do you know how many times I took Steve to hospital?
Over alertness.
Ana breathe nikimwangalia hivi. Venye ana breathe. Ile nemba mtoto the baby is panting for breath. So I used to really observe him. nione hiyo kubreathe yenye nilikuwa nimesikia.
Shortness of breath that kinapumui vizuri.
And I thank God I was introduced to by one of our pastor friends. I can introduce to a pastor who had a clinic now in Banana. Pastor Charles. Alikuwa daktari. He had a clinic. Sijui kama bado wako nayo because sasa we moved from there.
Yeah.
And because na alikuwa ameintroduced na kwa sisi by a friend when we went to Banana. So we started going to clinics there. I think after now, this other baby now went. I think that is when I was introduced to him by a friend. Na tukajuana, we became very good friends. That we used to visit them at home. And so anytime Steve showed anything that looked like a cold,
yes,
I was there. And I gave my baby a lot of medicine. Za homa. Mtoto amekunywa dawa za homa. So one time, nilienda kwake. Ati nimesikia Steve kama ana cough. Kanimwambia Mama Steve, sit down. Kazali nikalisha chini. I want you to sit.
Yes.
Kanimwambia Mama Steve, I know you're going through trauma because you lost someone. But I need you to calm down. Steve is okay. Unamwona venye ako hivi saa hii? Ako sawa. You know, mimi nilikuwa naenda asikizwe kifua. Ukinisikizia
the other one had an issue now, had pneumonia, so you want...
Nataka niambiwe kifua iko sawa. Ukiniambia iko sawa, I'll go home. Then akaniambia, you need to calm down. Steve is a very healthy baby. So unaona venye anakaa? Very healthy. Then you're bringing him up well. So, nataka, I need you to calm down. Because ukiendelea hivyo unaendelea, mtoto atakunywa dawa mingi na zitamharibikia. So I need you to calm down and know Steve is okay. When he is sick, you will know he is sick. But now he's not even sick. Na tuko hosi, nambia si mgonjwa. Unaona hiyo makawasi anatoa? Hiyo iko sawa. He's okay. Labda kana ukisikia ameanza kukohoa, now you can bring him. But now he's fine. So, I think alinisaidia sana. You know, like how he told me the baby is very healthy. Your baby is very healthy. And he's not going to be sick. Na hataenda, huyu haendi. Don't be scared. Don't get worried. And you need to deal with that fear.
Yes.
Because he's not going anywhere.
Yes.
Huyu hata kuacha. So mwingine alienda Mungu alikuachia huyu hataenda. So calm down. So I think alinisaidia because at least I was able now to come back to my senses to see kweli ni mtoto anaweza kunywa dawa mingi sana if I go on the way I'm going.
Yes.
So yeah, nika relax kidogo. I'm still dealing with the loss.
Of course.
You are dealing with so much.
Yes.
You are dealing with so much. By God's grace, tukaenda Steve akakuwa mkubwa vizuri. He was 1 year when he was, I think now 1 year. Is when I conceived now. But I told God, mimi Mungu sikuwa nimekupatia mtoto wangu na sijui kwa nini ulichukua. We didn't have an agreement you're taking my baby. So now what you're going to do, me and you give me back my son. Because I didn't give you my son. You took my son without my permission. And I told God, if you're giving me another child, you're giving me back my son. Venye tu alikuwa naka. And I conceived the second baby. And you know, of course, I had a good journey with the second one. You know, second one hawananga maneno mingi because now it was just a space of 1 year. Hata kwa amefikisha 1 year vizuri, but he alikuwa anatembea.
Yes.
So went through the journey of the second one nicely. And
now this one you went for clinics.
This one I went. I think at 3 months. Sinilijaribu. Nilienda, went back to Nazareth.
Yes.
At 3 months, the journey was good.
Yes.
Sikuwa na mashida.
Yes.
I have a baby. I'm taking care of my baby. I'm pregnant. I'm good.
Yes.
And the journey was good. So, and of course, now I knew when I was getting the labor pains. But sasa hii labor pain yangu, tulikuwa tumeenda for Mashakaya.
Yeah.
A mother of one of the members in the church had passed away.
Okay.
So this afternoon, tulienda huko. Now, I started now. You know where they were sitting, there was a mango tree. Hapa juu.
Yes.
I started eating the raw mangoes.
Okay.
I ate a lot of, like the service was going on, but I was eating mangoes. I ate mangoes. Back and my husband was like, you know, you stop eating those mangoes anymore. You don't. They are unripe. And I'm liking the sourness. I'm enjoying the sourness. And so, mi nimekula mangoes when we went home. Kufika nyumbani, labor pains. Zimekuja. So, we of course now, our neighbor again helped us to go to the hospital.
Yes.
And now this one sikukaa. I think I reached nilifika hospitali, and I think after 1 hour I had given birth to my son.
Oh, this time you didn't labor for long.
No, I didn't labor for long. I got my son, and I was excited. God had given me back my son. I was so happy. Yes. And I knew that God had given me back my son. So I named him the same names.
Oh, okay.
Same names, everything.
Yes.
And I felt they look alike.
Okay.
Niliona wanafanana because now I knew how the first one was, so I knew wanafanana. Nikamuita majina tu yale. And I was excited. It was a good journey.
Yes.
Hasa now, of course, now becoming a mother now, I know how to observe my baby when they are sick and when they are okay. Now I know. And of course, I didn't have issues now, breastfeeding.
Yeah, now you know.
Now I know.
Yes.
And the journey was good, and my son grew nicely. I wasn't working. I thank God I've stayed home with my children.
Okay.
Yeah, I've stayed home with my kids. I've not had anyone help me apart from now my family friends who maybe sometimes would come and hang out with us, stay with us. I used to have a lot of friends who used like to stay in my house. So many. So now I count how many girls stayed in my home because they wanted to stay with us.
Yes.
And I think those are the people God was sending to me to help me.
Yes.
So tulika now, and we had a good time with them. And every time when time it comes for them to go, they go, somebody else comes in. And so I had that chance to bring up my kids by myself with their dad. And so when my son was 1 year, they have a space of 1.5 years, all of them.
Okay.
1.5 years, 2 years.
Yes.
So between my second born and the last born is 2 years.
Yes.
And I conceived again. Now you know what you're doing.
Yes.
But then, when I remember when my son was still very young, we came for the meeting at church. There was a prophetic meeting. And I came with my son. You know how you go in front there and they're being prayed for?
Yes.
And the person who was praying had been telling God in my heart,
yes,
I want the third child, but if you're not going to give me a girl, don't give me a baby. I'm okay with the 2 boys. But if you know you're going to give me a girl, na si ati unaomba, ndi vile vitu unasemanga. Si ati I'm kneeling down to pray. Those are the things I'm saying. If you're not going to give me a girl, I'm okay with the 2 boys. So kani ukijana, we tuka nae. And
there's a lot of things.
I know, yeah. And do you know we came for this meeting, and we were called there with my husband to be prayed for. And so this guy is saying, God has given you extra grace, and God is going to bless you with a princess. Hata sijapanga kupata mtoto.
Hapana?
No. Yes. This one is still not even 1 year.
Yes.
God is going to bless you with a princess. So imagine the things we say.
Yes.
The things we tell God.
Imagine.
Anaskianga.
Na anajibu.
Na anajibu. So the prophet is now confirming to me the princess I've been telling God to give me.
Yes.
Amenipatia.
Na umeambia Mungu ikiwa si msichana kana
staki mwingine. Niko sawa na vijana wawili.
Oh my God. God forgive us.
And so I got I saw now after he was 1 year, nimeconceive sasa tena. And I knew, God, you told me you're giving me a princess, so I don't have I'm not worried. Yes. Staki hata kuskana. I know I have a baby girl.
The faith that you had.
I knew God had told me he's giving me a princess, so I have a baby girl.
No, you're from the beginning, you knew, you're saying, I want a baby girl.
Yes.
And now there's a confirmation that you get a princess.
Yes.
So you are.
So now I knew, when I conceived, I knew this is a baby girl.
Okay.
So the journey of baby girl was good. I remember that when I carried the full term to full term, my second born was 2.8. So nilijaribu.
This time.
Not the 1.8 and the 1.2. Yeah. So nikaona hapo that at least it was good, and there were normal deliveries.
Okay.
I thank God.
The 3 births, the 3 deliveries.
They were all normal deliveries, so I really thank God. And so the third one, I remember that morning I woke up, I made a lot of chapatis. I cleaned the house, and I cooked a lot of food.
And you didn't tell us what you do. You'll tell us.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because you're talking about food.
I know.
You'll tell us what
So
you do.
I had cooked a lot of food. There was a lot of chapatis. I even had made some mandazis, now for the kids.
Yes.
Now, I even didn't know I was doing that.
Yes.
And I did all the chores in the house that morning. Ikifika jioni tena, the labor pains came. Now I knew I was supposed to rush because now this third one,
Yes.
you never know.
Yes, and now this one.
Sasa so nika when the labor pains came, I rushed to the hospital. But this one, had overstayed. Huyu ame overstay na 1 week.
Haya.
Huyu wa mwisho sasa. Sijapata labor pains. Nimekumbuka. But I had done everything in there. So nikafikiria, I woke up early in the morning, did everything. Alafu nikaona, huyu mtoto, siku yangu ya clinic ikafika. I had done everything. So nikaenda clinic. So I had woken up very early to do everything. Na nimeweka mpaka nimeacha chakula, nikienda clinic. Nikafika clinic. Now I had a neighbor, tulikuwa tumebeba mimba tukiwa wawili, and she was to be my friend. Akapata mtoto mbele yangu. I told God, you know what? Now me, I'm tired. So, you bring my baby. Nataka tuachane sasa, mtoto nimuone ni huyu na mimi niko hapa.
Yes.
So, bring my baby. Because I think the grace now to carry this baby around is finished. Imeisha. So, nikaenda clinic. Mimi nami tumeambiana mtoto anakuja. Si ndio, si amepitisha 1 week. Yes. I'm done carrying her. No, sasa acha akuje.
Yes.
Nikafika clinic. Kufika, nikaambiwa, hey, we are admitting you. Sijabeba anything.
Yeah, because you're going for just check-up.
I was going for check-up.
Yes.
Hiyo check-up sasa inasema, nimeanza kufunguka. So ninapiga simu, thank God now. Sasa hapo, tusimu tulikuwa tumeanza kukuja. So I'm calling my husband. You know what? They told me I'm not coming home. Why? Hata, wameniambia mtoto anakuja leo. So now he came now with the bags and everything. Now sasa tumekuwa wazazi, si tunajua what to do.
Yes.
We have packed bags.
Now mkoma pro.
So akakuja, akaniacha. I didn't labor for long. Sasa venye, by the time nikiadmitiwa, I didn't have any labor pains. But then they admitted me. So nikaka, akaenda nyumbani, kamwambia you just go because now the other kids are at home.
Yes.
And ara sijui alikuwa amewachia nani.
Because you don't have house help.
We didn't have house help.
Yes.
So nikaniambia you just go back home because of the other babies. I'm going to be okay. So nikarudi nyumbani. And then so mimi nikakaa. The labor pains are not coming. Zinakuja kidogo tu kwa umbali. Nasa kaniambia, but akinipima naona ninaendelea vizuri. Niko tu sawa. So when I was almost now ready, akaniweka sasa kwa labor ward. Akaniweka drip. Kaniambia sasa nataka ukae hapa karibu kupata mtoto. Nataka kukusaidia mtoto akuje haraka. Nikamwambia unanisaidia aje? But don't worry, I'm going to help you. So nikawekwa drip. Mimi nimelala tu niko hata sina pain, ati hivyo sana. So akadunga maji na kitu ya black. Kaambia nasi, nini umeweka? By the time nimuuliza nini umeweka?
Karuo kamekuja.
The labor pains are all over. Sijui maniakia nini kwa maji. Kuja nitoa hii maji. You know sasa now umeanza. By the time toa hii maji, mtoto ashatoka. It was very fast hata hiyo maji. Haikuwa imeenda hata halfway. I think I didn't even have that water for 5 minutes on my hand by the time the baby came.
You hear labor pain. I never experienced that. I've said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was for my daughter, it was very easy. Hey, you have a baby girl.
Ah, the princess.
The princess has come. And I was excited. I was very excited.
Yeah.
And she didn't have any issues. Even the second one born didn't have any issues. After 3 days, you know, they discharge you.
Yes.
Akosawa, no jail days, nothing. You just go home.
Yeah.
And it was life now with my 3 babies.
Yeah. The ones that you had said, the 3 babies.
And they're all like this. I think the first one is now 2 years. The one is 1.5. No, 3, 2, or 2.5. Yes. And I have a baby.
Yes.
But we worked the journey together with my husband.
Yes.
So because he was in full-time ministry, so most of the time he could be at home.
Yes.
And my friends in the church, my dear friend, still worked with me. There's another one we called Susan. She worked with me. She was my neighbor, so she used to come home early in the morning and help me. Those are my friends that really worked with me. I can't say that I really had a challenge with help, with the help around home. People are really coming to work with us. And yeah, and my kids have grown. So I thank God because over time, I got over the trauma of the loss that I had. Because now with this second one, at least I was able, we had a good flow. But I remember my daughter, at one point, I think when she was 2 months, caught pneumonia. And now I knew. And now I told her that I think, yes, he's panting for breath. Anambia, si utampeleka wapi, we don't worry. Nikaeka mtoto kwa mgongo. Nikapeleka. Now I knew, akifungana kifua, kuna shindano anaweka wapi? Now I know. Sasa usiponindungia hapa na kuuliza kwa nini hujamweka?
Najua pale atapona.
And then you know, ukiweka hapa unajua. Now you know. Yeah. You even know which medicines you use. Na ukipatiwa unasema. Yeah. Do you know, because I remember the medicine they gave me for the first baby. Do you know, I brought up all my babies and no doctor gave me that medicine. Akinipatia hiyo na mama sitaki hiyo. Hiyo ndio ili usinipatie hiyo. And I stayed for long before I accepted that syllab. Mpaka ninaijua mpaka wa leo. Ni venye sitaki kusema jina.
Yes, it's true.
You know, don't say the name. Usiharibu soko ya dawa.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so I had that trauma even with that medicine because I knew it. So every time I went to the hospital,
probably it wasn't that it was bad.
Of course.
It's something
sasa, whatever happened when it is the one I was using. Yeah, so it's actually a very good medicine now I know. Yeah. Now I know.
Yeah, but because of your trauma, definitely when you see it, it reminds you.
It reminds me that this is ndio dai kufanya kazi. So now, my kids grew up well, and I was at home with them. Didn't do much. And Mungu alitusaidia tu wakakuwa vizuri. And I think when I started now maybe thinking of I should do business, they were big. Okay. I think my daughter now was big enough. The first time I got a house girl was when she was now big enough. Okay. And Steve was going to school. Samuel was still a bit small. Yeah. SC was walking. So now I could go na ninarudi mapema. So now it's at least now to support the family because sasa now watoto naye watatu. It was something else. Yes. So we did everything to support them. And the journey was good and they've grown up. Yes. Wamekuwa vizuri. And they are doing well. Now they are all young adults.
I know them. They are big. They are all handsome. I mean, very beautiful girl. Yeah. I know them. Yeah. Glory be to God.
Amen. I thank God for this.
The princess.
Yes.
The princess you told God, give me this.
Yes.
And God is faithful.
He gave me the princess. Now, you know, I didn't remember to tell her that she was a child of prophecy. And I was told I was going to get a princess. So, I don't know why I didn't even tell her. So the other day, some time back, we came to visit Shosho. So Shosho tells her, did your mother tell you that you are a child of prophecy, that the prophet called you a princess? No, she has never told me. Yes. And no, she felt nice about it. So when I came home, mbona hukuniambia niliitwa princess? But you know you are a princess. Yes, I know, but you didn't tell me. Yes. And she loves it, even now.
Yes,
she loves it.
That is from God.
It is good. She knows she's a princess. Yes. And I thank God for them. They've grown up well. Now they are young adults. My boys are working. Yes. Yes. They're not even at home with me. Yeah. My daughter did her O-levels this last year. Yes. So she's now the one at home with me. Yes. Because ameanza kufanya course kidogo kidogo hivyo. Yeah. And she's doing well. And I thank God for this far. Amen. Yeah. Amen.
So the journey has been up sometimes.
Yes.
Up sometime, more time. Yeah. And down.
And down.
Really down.
Yes.
Really
and
down.
Really the down.
Really down.
Really down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But God's grace is sufficient, you know. When I think when we learn to walk with God, He helps us to deal with these things. And you know, nobody is even telling you can go for counseling because of this loss. You're dealing with it wewe kivyako. Of course, it brings other issues, you know. Yeah. And I think if now we know that when you have such kind of a loss that is so dear to you, there are other ways of dealing with it.
Yes.
Instead of yes, unawe uko peke yako, uko na mtoto mwingine, you are panicking, you're all over the place with the baby in every hospital. And apart from now getting to these good doctors who tell you, you need to calm down. This is not going to be the same case. And, you know, and you're able now to start working out of that trauma.
Yes.
And starting not to fear to be pregnant again.
Yes, yes.
Because I felt like, you know, I had loved my twins. I was just good. I was happy with the 2 boys. So one living was the hardest thing. It was very hard. Yeah. And yeah, and we grew up. Steve came to know he had a twin when he was quite big. I don't even remember at what age we told him. And later we took him to where the brother was buried. Now he knows. And he's okay with it. Yeah. And yeah, he just thinks, eh, you know, there's always that feeling of we were two. Yes, we were two. But with time, he's dealt with it and he's okay. Yeah. So we thank God even for giving us Samuel again. Yes. Yeah, I feel like my boy came back. Your boy came back. Yeah, and as you have rightly put it, like that time, there was no other alternative. Probably only, you know, medical. Yeah. But the therapy part, the mental health. Yes. You are struggling. Yeah. You are taking this. You are over medicating the child. Yeah. So that you prevent this happening what again. Happened? You are so paranoid. You are like, no, I can't. You know, when he breathes a bit like this. No, it is like the other one. What I saw. It is what I saw. It looks familiar. Yeah, so you know and, that. And that's why it is very important. Like now we know that when you're going through such a trauma, it is good to go for help. Yeah. And help now is available. Help is available. Yeah. Then I think those days it was not common. It's not something that someone would have recommended to you. But now we know. Yes. Now we know that when something like this happens and you cannot deal with it by yourself. Yeah. And also because you're dealing with other many things, you need to deal with it so that you can walk the journey. The faster you walk, deal with it, the better, because then the other kids you're dealing with, you need to stop panicking about what is happening and come back to your senses. And help is there, and help is available. Yeah. So yeah, I now recommend, if you need to deal with this loss, you need to talk to someone. It's true. As much as you're talking to your friends, talk to someone about it. Yeah. Yeah, because loss of a child, and I think loss is loss. Yeah. To that person. And it needs to be dealt with. Yes. And so that and of course it takes time. I tell people, having gone through some losses, you know, people say time heals. But I always tell people, whose time? Because the time that you're talking about, my time is not your time. Yeah. The way I'll deal with it. But of course, therapy now helps. Yeah. To deal with those things, you know, as you go along, the stages of loss that you'll be taken through. Yeah. But it is important. Yeah. That now people know. But I'm sure, Margaret, there's somebody there who has probably lost a child and doesn't know there is any help that they can go to. I would like you to look at the camera as even we are coming to close on this evening, and just talk to somebody there. Tell them something about this journey and what they need to do. Yeah. Yeah, in case you're out there and you've gone through loss and it just become so hard for you to deal with it, please look for help. It is going to help you when you talk to someone, a counselor or someone who can walk with you. It gets to be easier for you to walk this journey. As much as hard as it is, someone out there is willing to help you walk with you in this journey, to help you, get over it. Not like really get over it, because you don't get over it, but it becomes easier, because like now I'm here talking about it, and it's not as hard as it was so many years ago. So look for someone. People, like you're saying, people say time heals. But I also say it is what you do within that time. What are you doing with that? What are you doing with that time? It's not just going to be time heals. It's not the time that heals. It is what you do within that time. Are you working on yourself? Is there something you're doing to help you deal with it? Because if you don't deal with it, it keeps, the triggers are going to be there. And you start getting scared about the other babies, that you get, other people even get scared of getting pregnant again. Because you lost a child, you do not want to experience this again. But when you get help, you're able to also go through the journey of getting the other babies with ease, without a lot of stress. Not taking them to the hospital so many times like I did. I think if someone had helped me, I would have relaxed about taking the kids to the hospital like too much. But yeah, so there's help out there. Just look for help, talk to someone, and let them work with you, because you do not have to hurt alone. Somebody is always willing to work with you to help you ease the pain that is in you. Yeah.
I can't add any other, but I would like to request you still. What would you, before we go to the parting shot? You've talked about cooking. You've talked about mandazi. You've talked about chapati. Introduce us to that other side of you. I'm a caterer by profession. That's what I did in school, in my college. I did food and beverage production, service and sales is my course. And I'm very passionate about it. I remember when I was going to do this course, my dad was not for it. I told Daddy, if you don't allow me to go and do catering, I'm not going to school. And you know, there was a chance for me to go to school. So he's like, okay, you go do that which you want. If that is what you want, go do it. I thank God that my parents allowed me to do what I was passionate about. And it's what I have done since college. I think I haven't, of course I've tried other things, but it still takes me back to this. Because when I told you that I started business, when my kids were young and I got a house girl to stay at home, I had gotten a chance to feed kids in Kiambu Primary. You know, them kids, them days kids used to go out of the gate to get chips and chapatis. So somebody introduced me to the head teacher. And I was given a chance to bring food. So I used to come to Kiambu very early in the morning. My sister was now staying around Kiambu, Jane and Maish, you know. So I used to go to their house early in the morning. I cook food, I pack, and at 1, I'm there inside the school with my packed food, rice and dengu, chapati, even chips. I used to pack for them. I used to have 2 types of food and chips. And then food was 30 bob. So they used to come with 30 bob, they take up a container of food, they go eat and bring back my container. By the time they're going back to class, I'm done. And it was good business. It was. And the kids the kids kept increasing. Actually, that was after I got my, that business I did when Steve was actually bigger. When I was pregnant now with my second born is when I did that business. So, but because it's something I used to do early in the morning, by around 3 I used to be home. Yeah, so I think that I remember now we had to look for other sources of income. Because now the family was growing and the expenses were becoming bigger. But when I did, it was very good. It was very good. Some parents used to pay per month. Other kids used to come with cash every day. Some of my friends' parents from our church, they used to pay end of month. If they haven't gotten the money, I keep giving the food until they come. And it was good. It really supported us, even in the church. It really supported us. And when I got pregnant with my second born, I went for maternity leave and I left my work with the workers because I now employed 2 people. Hey, the business is growing.
And because now my sister was not there, she was going to work, and the husband was also going to work. There was only the house girl. The management of the business didn't go so well. So my business, by the time I came back when my son was 4 months, I couldn't revive it. So kaishia hapo. So I found myself going back to catering. In many ways I've worked in hotels. Right now I'm doing it on my own. I have a company called I have a company called Superb Bakers and Caterers. Because I bake. I'm very passionate about baking. I love making cakes and decorating them and looking at them, and I feel good when they look nice. And I'm happy when my customer is happy. So that's what I'm doing right now. I cater for all kinds of events,
Yes.
weddings, graduation parties. I make a graduation cake and I come with the food. And I'm always excited. Why I know I'm so passionate about it is when we cook food and put it on a buffet, and the food is looking so good.
Yes.
That gives me joy.
Yes. You
And
are in my nephew's wedding the other day.
Yes.
Yes, and of
Yes.
course we ate and ate
Yes,
and ate.
yes. And it gives me joy, just even to serve people and and then they're telling you the food was really nice. That is what gives me joy. And it's not easy to cook. I have a team that I'm working with.
Yes.
So we've catered for weddings, we've catered for seminars, church events, all kinds of things.
Speak to somebody who is walking a journey of pregnancies, some losses,
Yeah.
as your party short.
Yeah.
Yes.
Children are a blessing from the Lord. We do not have any power to say whether we can get children or not. He just gives us freely. And when God has given you children, I think it's the most beautiful thing that can happen to anyone. So if you're walking this journey of pregnancy, sometimes losses, do not give up. Do not give up. The God that you believe in one day will bring a child safely to your hands. Sometimes they go, but they still come back to us, like me telling God to give me back my Samuel. So be encouraged, keep going, talk to someone. If it's becoming so hard for you to deal with it, talk to someone, let somebody walk a journey with you, and get all the help that you can get. But the most important thing is do not feel like God has let you down. Keep believing in Him. He's our God, He's our Father, He loves us. He sees us when we are going through all this, and He knows. And everything that comes to us, it's only that which we can deal with. It's the cross that you can be able to carry. Sometimes it's not easy, but He gives you the grace. The grace is sufficient. So get encouraged. Do not give up. Get the help that you need to get. Deal with the traumas as much as possible so that you can be able, because also, as a man thinks, so is he. So you need to also change the way you think. If you had this trauma like me, and you're starting to get scared about getting pregnant again, you need to deal with it, because if you start thinking that this is going to happen the way the other one happened, then what you fear sometimes is what you get. So it's so good to deal with the fear so that you don't start having the negative faith, and build your faith in Christ. Know that He loves you, that He's going to walk with you. Have a positive attitude towards what you're going through, and have faith, because God is going to give you victory, and it's not far from you.
Amen.
It's close.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Margaret.
Yes.
I can't thank you more. Thank you so much. I believe our viewers have learned something.
Yeah.
They've known it is possible
Yeah.
for you to walk a journey that it's very difficult,
Yeah.
and sometimes very happy, and it's possible to also deal
Yeah.
with that trauma.
Yes.
And that is why we decided on Health Now Show that we bring guests
Yeah.
that are able to share their journeys, so that they can encourage who is seated there,
Yeah.
who is watching us, so that they can also say, one day, even if I have gone through this loss,
Yeah.
I will get a baby.
That's
as
true.
you have just said.
Yes.
Because our God loves us, and He's just waiting
Yeah.
for us. You know, He'll put that baby in our hands.
That's true.
Yes,
He's
Sarah
faithful.
in the Bible waited, and waited, and Samuel and Isaac was brought
That's true. That's
into
true.
his hand. You know,
He's
I'm saying
faithful.
Samuel because
I know.
you
I can
talked a
tell
lot
you
of
Samuel.
Samuel.
Yeah.
Isaac was brought into her hands,
Yeah.
and it's a joy. Yeah, sometimes it's not very, and that is why this series that I'm doing, I'll continue doing them on Health Now Show, your health friend, and I believe that we are going to learn something. And as I said before, if you'd like to come and share with us, just get in touch with us on our numbers that are on the screen. And again, remember to subscribe, remember to share, so that many other people can learn. And also, I would like you to just share with us, what is your takeaway point from this episode with Margaret?
Yeah.
And until next time, may the Lord bless you, and thank you so much, and bye from now. Thank you.